Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and the creator of 3-Day Weekend System and Coaching. And I'm glad to be here each and every week to do Auto Shop Success live in 15 minutes. This week, I'm doing a recording. I have a commitment at the normal time. I'm doing a webinar live, so I had a conflict, but I still wanted to get this out information out to you. And I have a headset on. I don't usually wear a headset because my neighbor is having some yard work done and it's quite loud, and I wanted to spare you of that. So, a question that I get asked often is, Marianne, who do you work with? And I work with single location auto shop owners. I absolutely love this group. They're near and dear to me. And they come to me because they feel like their business is consuming them. And they really want to have a personal life as well. They're tired of putting that on the back burner and they're tired of working all of the time. So they want to have a life and have that guilt free. So that's where I come in and I help with 3-Day Weekend System. So this week's topic is empathy, the key to accountability. Accountability is something that comes up pretty often when I talk to auto shop owners. And I have to say that auto shop owners are feeling a growing frustration. Conversations really are often focused on what feels like a lack of work ethic, accountability, and initiative among today's workforce. Yes, we have a changing workforce. However, it's important to understand that workers born after or even a few years before 9/11 grew up in a world drastically different from one that the older generations experienced. And I'm putting myself in that category of an older generation. So we're talking about people that are 30 or under. These shifts demand a new approach to leadership, one that's rooted in empathy. So, what changed for today's workforce? There's three things that really stand out to me. The first one is there's a different sense of security. Post 9/11, the focus on security reshaped the lives of younger generations, from metal detectors in schools to 24-hour news cycles. They've grown up with a constant undercurrent of fear. Their experiences shape their outlook, making stability and emotional safety more important than ever. Number two, the impact of online communities and bullying. Social media is a double edged sword. It allows for connection. I'm connecting with you. Chances are through social media because I'm going to share this with you. But social media also exposes individuals to public scrutiny. This generation faces anxiety and mental health struggles at unprecedented levels due to online bullying and a comparison culture. Everyone's comparing themselves to other people. The third one is the challenge of instant gratification. Think about it. Growing up with smartphones, this workforce is accustomed to instant access of information. They don't have to run down to the library to look something up. Their approach to learning and communication is different. They expect quick feedback and clear direction. Traditional models, just go figure it out, often frustrate them. So, understanding these dynamics does not excuse poor performance, but it helps us see why leading with empathy is necessary to unlock their capability and hold them accountable. So I want to share with you 5 steps to lead with empathy and build accountability. So there's 5 steps. My suggestion would be to write them down or, take notes however you take notes digitally, whatever works for you. The first one is start with curiosity, not assumptions. When frustration builds, resist the urge to assume laziness or entitlement. Instead, ask, what is getting in the way of this task? Or what tools do you need to succeed? This opens a conversation and shows your team that you care about their challenges. Second one, clarify expectations with compassion. Many young team members want to do well, but are unclear on what doing well looks like. Be explicit about your expectations, provide timelines, and follow up with feedback. The clearer the goal, the easier it is to hold them accountable. Number 3, recognize effort, not just results. Accountability doesn't mean ignoring struggles along the way. Acknowledge progress and small wins, especially when things don't go perfectly. Recognition really helps develop trust and motivation, helping your team stay engaged. Number 4, establish two-way accountability. Modeling accountability by following through on your promises. If you say you're going to provide tools or training, do it. Team members are more likely to take ownership when they see accountability in action from leaders. That means you. Number 5, teach problem solving skills gradually. Many young workers haven't developed problem solving skills through experience. They're young, they haven't had a lot of experience. So instead of throwing them in the deep end, walk them through challenges step by step. Ask questions like, what do you think the first step is? Or where would you find that information? This builds competence over time. Empathy creates accountability, not excuses. Leading with empathy isn't about lowering your standards. It's about meeting team members where they are and giving them the tools to succeed. Empathy helps you understand the challenges that they face, like mental health struggles, learning differences, and communication barriers, and creates space for solutions, for ways to figure this all out. When you start with empathy, you earn the trust needed to hold people accountable without creating resentment. The workforce may have changed, but the need for leadership remains the same. Your ability to adapt your leadership style to today's reality will determine your success in building a motivated, accountable team. So I want to share with you my 1 week rule. Take action now. You've listened to this live. Big changes start with small steps. Which one of the 5 steps will you work on this week? Write it down and put it somewhere where you'll see it daily. Small intentional steps lead to progress. I use this strategy in my shop and with my clients. What's one change that you're going to make this week? Drop it in the comments. And lastly, a pro thinking tip. By leading with empathy, Shop owners can create a culture where accountability is natural and respected, unlocking the full capability of every team member. The results: a more motivated team, a stronger shop, and less stress for you. So that's it for this week's Auto Shop Success in 15 Minutes. I'm glad that you're here. Have an enjoyable week.